Good morning and welcome to Morning Coach. Today, I am so glad you're with us. Hey, it's JB. Super pumped you're here this Monday, ready to take it on. We have got a huge week planned. Really the start of the month. We are in a do month, as you know. Those of you that get it done now. System we are doing. Really important we stay on track with that. For those of you in the PE group that we're rocking and rolling now, we've got a lot going on for you. In fact, the book study we're going to do is actually part of the educational system. It's actually part of it as we get into offers and building beliefs and stuff. I really like this book. I like what this guy's doing. We're going to do his 2 books the next 2 months. So we've got a lot planned on that as we're rocking and rolling. So the 100-day challenge is still going. For those of you going, day 78. Great job with that. For those of you that are new, we did a 100-day challenge a while ago and had some people participate. It's a lot of fun. You can find out about that in the community. It's just another way for us to create some accountability and have some fun within this community as we keep rocking and rolling. But happy Labor Day. It's Labor Day here in the United States. It's actually a day off, so a lot of people are taking the day off, but we're not. We're here because we are rocking the new PE launch. We've got a lot going on. And we're gonna ride this ride and have some fun, all of us together, and make it a great month as we get into September and really start going September, October, November, December. You know, it's time to get prepared for 2024. And how are we going to kill it? I mean, how are we going to make it our best year yet? Well, we're going to do that together, and we're starting that this week. So this week, what are we doing? Health. We're going to get into health, start working on that a little bit. I know a few of you are we're working on that. That includes mental health, right? So both things. This community is about health. As you know, last week we had Dr. Paul. How was that? Did you enjoy it on Saturday? Dr. Paul, talking about keeping a balanced plate and really those 3 pillars of nutrition. I think he did a great job for his first one, and he's going to keep contributing as some of our other professional experts are. I'm excited about that because it just brings a different viewpoint to the Coach Cast, especially on a Saturday. You can connect to that, or if you want to go listen to it today, maybe you missed it, listen to Dr. Paul and Keeping a Balanced Plate. It's nice that we have wonderful professional experts like Dr. Paul Kilgore and so many others that are involved in our community that can bring that and can give that back to us. So I hope you enjoyed that as part of what we're doing. I mentioned Jurgen last week. We got a new black belt, which is awesome. Jurgen's in the community all the time and helping and just doing so many things on the backside, testing the planner. So that's a really big announcement. I announced it last week, and it's just cool as we see people progressing and adding to the community. It's what my dream has always been, is to create a community of really amazing people supporting each other. And we're finally getting to that stage as I start to transition to working with more of the professional expert community, which is great. And it's just bringing in that energy to build this wonderful community that we have. So today we're going to talk about health is wealth. Again, one of my favorite things to talk about. It's one of my favorite months. This month's theme is health and fitness and well-being and medical advisors and nutrition and vibrance. I mean, things that I just love. And so we're really going to focus on that. Then, of course, we do have the professional expert track. We've got $100 million offers. That's our book. I'll intro it tomorrow and go over section 1. You can find that in the Compass. Go up in the book study if you want to buy the book and work with us. Those of you that are in the professional expert group, you're going to need that book anyways. It's part of your curriculum, and it's going to be part of what we're working with as you get to offers later on down the road. So it doesn't hurt to have it in your shelf or in your library. Wednesday, big day. We're going to talk about sleep and why it can change your life. I think this is one of the most critical things we can talk about when it comes to health, and it's one of the most neglected. And I really want to go over it Wednesday with you. Thursday, we're going to talk about staying away from people, places, and things. I've got some questions on what's happening with me and the big transition I've made. In fact, I believe today is like day 36, right at day 30 or day 37. It's actually day 37 that I've been alcohol free. It's day 78 since I started the real, I'm not going to do it, but I did drink once 37 days ago. So it's been 78 days that I've only drank one time. And today is day 37 that I haven't drank. And I'm excited because I really feel I'm in a great space right now with my health. And it's made some drastic changes. We talked about it up in the community a little bit. David mentioned it, who wrote the book on HRV. And he said, wow, it seems like things are coming together. Your concepts are more clear. And I really believe that. And I want to talk about that on Thursday because I got a few people asking questions about that. And it's cool. It seems like, part of my philanthropic effort, obviously we're a business, so we've got to make money, is this addiction space a little bit, and people that are trying to tone back. And I really don't think it's addiction. I just think some people are looking to be the best they could possibly be and realize some of these substances, whether it's drugs or opiates or whatever, are kind of getting in their way, or alcohol, of being their best. And that's what we're here for, is to really discuss those things and then make sure you're getting the proper guidance. We have a lot of people that are dealing with a lot of stuff. Like all of us have mental health things, right? So you might be medicating for that. Just make sure you got the right healthcare practitioners. And we'll be talking about that, a whole week on that anyways this month. But Thursday, we're going to talk a little bit about people, places, things. Friday, now we're going to talk about financial wealth and how it relates to health. This is a big one. Again, if you're dealing with financial issues, show up for that, okay? Make sure you're here Friday. Saturday, Dr. Paul again. We got Dr. Paul coming back. I thought he did such a good job with the first one. I was like, hey, let's do another one. Maybe we could talk about sleep and some things. So he's putting some stuff together for us on Saturday. And then Sunday, we're going to talk about having faith through medical issues. I lost a really close friend it's been about a week and a half ago. Godzilla. Ray Coleman is what his real name is. We called him Godzilla. Huge guy. I mean, this guy is just massive. And, he actually did some steroids when he was younger because he was a modeler. And then Susan, his wife, they both were fitness people, but they got into that kind of experimental area of things, right? And so Susan passed away from cancer a year ago. And like Susan, she trained with me in the Israeli stuff since I've been since in the beginning. Godzilla's been there. He had his own place up in northern Florida. And, he's been a buddy. I mean, we did all of our training together. We did our wolf stuff, no sleep, no eating. I mean, we train and train and train. Well, he passed away a week and a half ago from cancer. And, going through medical issues is really challenging. He refused treatment. And I think that's one of the reasons he passed away. But irregardless, having the right medical people around you, like Dr. Paul, and having people that you can talk to is so important. And I just want to reiterate that health is so critical, and being careful with your health. Ray was, I think, 45, right in that age, 45, 46. So it was real sad for all of us to lose him at such a young age. And again, it's important to understand medical issues and things that are going on in your life and making sure that you're taking care of those. And sometimes, I got to tell you, the Coach Cast is every day. And sometimes that lesson alone, like you'll hear something about me in a story and somebody I'm talking about, is more important than the actual lesson, right? So, we don't want Godzilla to die in vain. Big guy, Godzilla. We don't want Ray to die in vain. Let's take a little bit of, advice or a little bit of knowledge from his suffering, and say, hey, let's try to take care of our health a little bit, okay? Because the truth is, health is wealth. Without having health, okay, it doesn't matter how much you have. It doesn't matter how much money you have. And when we look at the things that we teach, we're really about intelligent life design and about structuring things so that you build your life and you enjoy your life. And without health, you can't do that. And I can tell you, the last year for Godzilla has been tough since he lost Susan. It's pretty crazy. After he lost Susan, it was about a few months later, he seemed to be doing pretty good. He was kind of getting out there again, and he had some new friends, and and then all of a sudden his health took a turn for the worse. And again, I think it was some of the abuses early on in his life, and I don't want to make assumptions, but he did put some stuff in his body to get bigger, right, back in the day when he was modeling stuff. And sometimes that hurts you later in life. And so when you suffer and you don't have good health, it really makes it hard to get up and have the energy to do the things you need to do in order to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So I put some pretty big goals up at the beginning of this year. If you remember, I said, I want to get an airplane in a place in Florida. And as I've done that, I kind of went the opposite direction. Like the business didn't turn the way I wanted it to. Like it wasn't going the direction I wanted to. And so for me, I had to take a look in the mirror and say, okay, well, what is going on? I got this gym here. I really was focused on health, but then the truth was I wasn't being true to myself. I really wasn't focused on my health. I was more focused on, I don't know, just the transition that I was going through. And so it was finally when I made that commitment or that change to say, okay, I'm not going to drink. When we did the 100-day challenge, everything started to change. And one day I took a break. 37 days ago. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to have a beer. Literally, that's what it was. We were at a golf tournament. I'll never forget. It's the last time I'm ever going to drink. I don't want to say ever, but man, sure feels like it. And I ended up drinking a couple beers. The next thing you go to the bar, and we ended up winning. So, somebody got a shot. Next thing you know, I'll have a Jack and Coke. And next thing you know, I feel terrible for 3 days. And I looked at my months, up until September. And I had to realize that my self-care and my health weren't where it should have been. Now, I talked about doing a lot of things, right? I was like, hey, I'm going to get into cold dipping, and I'm going to start exercising, and I'm going to start taking care of myself. But the truth was that it just kind of kept being pushed out week to week, and it's why I wanted to do the 100-day challenge. It's why I needed it. And it wasn't until I made that commitment that I started to see changes. And now, as of 37 days ago, well, really 78 days ago, when I started to make the shift from, okay, I need to really focus on my health more than I ever have before in my life, everything started to change. Like, people started coming to my life. We started putting systems together. We started getting organized in the ways that we're going to do new things. In fact, we had a great new group come in June, or July, into July. We had a great class come in. You've seen a lot of the people, David, Jeremy. There's some really good people. Kenya, there's some great people that came in our last class, right? And so I was like, okay, that's got to be my focus. Like, that is my focus. And literally since July 4th, I've only drank twice. But it was like, okay, it's not just about drinking. It's about overall health. It's about getting up, taking care of myself, having the energy to be able to believe in the systems that I believe in. Then it was like, okay, if we're going to do this, let's do it. Let's finally do it. Let's just not talk about it. What are we going to do? And that's where the professional expert kind of grew from, because it's like, man, I've been doing this 18 years. And as many mistakes as I have made, I'm here, right? I'm coming on 19 years, and I've done well. Like, it's been a really great journey. So it's like, why not share that? And now you can see, why not bring some people in? Why not start sharing that energy? And it's really becoming what I always believed in, which is just spectacular people coming together and making a difference in each other's lives. I had to transition a lot. I had to mentally shift. I had to give up some things. I had to read some new books, as we have in the book study, right? And get my head in the right place. But it's really coming together. And I equate that, what do I equate that to? My routine and my self-care. And I know that sounds like such a cop-out. Like, oh, I'm taking care of my health now. That's why things are going good. But it's truthful. It's the truth. Things are going because with great health, you have energy. And with energy, you have clarity. And then the healing of the neural pathways. And some of you know this more than others. We have some people that are dealing with some bipolar issues and some mental health issues, and they're really into the way they think, right? And they understand that. And Roxanne, who's amazing, that's what she's a genius at, is executive function. And luckily we have her, and we're talking her into getting on here and doing some stuff. But you start to understand, your brain starts to heal. And that's kind of where I'm at. I went through this stage where now all of a sudden I feel it, like my brain is getting there. It's like charged up, and I can see the focus of the impact that we're having. And that excites me. And that's more exciting than hanging out and drinking a little bit. And a few of you I've talked to offline, that's what we're going to talk about Thursday, about, hey, it's time for me to kind of settle that back a little bit and really focus on my impact in the world. So the idea is health. With health, that's what makes the difference. It's so key. And I know I talk about it ad nauseum, but that's the way you do. I mean, sometimes you just hear the right thing. Maybe it's the story of Godzilla, my buddy. Maybe you're on my Facebook page and you saw him pass away and you're like, man, it's time for me to get it together. Or maybe you start thinking about your family. I have a friend of mine who has a brand new baby, and reached out to me and says, I'm drinking too much. I've got to take care of my children. But finding that thing that's going to turn you on is to get you going with your health. Now, here's one of the big issues, is you don't see the immediate impact. And that's why a lot of people go back to drinking, or go back to not working out, or go back into eating wrong, because they just don't see the immediate impact. It takes time. A lot of times with weight, it's a good example of that. Like, somebody that's overweight, right? It's like, man, I'm overweight. I need to lose all this weight. Well, of course you do, but it took 40 years to put all that weight on, so it's not going to leave immediately. The battle begins on the day by day. It goes back to my original podcast 5,078 ago, when I started talking about 1% improvement every day. That's what we got to focus on. And we got to focus on our health, getting a little bit better 1% a day. Whether it's eating right, supplementation, working out, getting something that works for you. And getting it going now, before it's too late, right? Before you're like Ray, Godzilla, right? And now all of a sudden you're facing a healthcare crisis. And we're going to talk about that Sunday because I do want you to have some tools with that. But I want you to avoid that. How do we avoid that? Do the best we can with our health. Does it mean we're going to absolutely avoid anything? No. I mean, the truth is we're human beings. I mean, that's part of life, is that there's going to be issues come up for all of us. But the better shape you're in, the better you can handle it, right? The better the nutrition you're eating, the more energy you got, the more you heal your brain. And that's my job as a coach, is to push you in the right direction. And hopefully today it's pushing you towards better health. And I don't want to insult your intelligence because you know what that is, okay? And for those of you that are ready to rock and roll with me, okay, make sure you connect with me because the Professional Expert Series is launching. And if you've got a friend or somebody that's, you maybe know, let's talk about it. We don't have a structured affiliate system yet, but we're working on that. But we can talk about that, right? This is a very big project for me because not only we're helping professional experts, we're bringing them in to get it done now, and it's literally life-changing. So it's really exciting. So if you're ready for that, just send us an email, info@morningcoach.com, and let's keep rocking. Let's keep rocking. But please, I want you to be here a long, long time. Let's focus on health this week. Let's do what we need to do to get a little bit healthier, and even if it's just 1% better, let's focus on that. Okay? So I love you. Get out there. Have a great one, and I'll be back tomorrow right here to get you going on morningcoach.com. Got a new book. It's good. It's a good one. Good one. All right. Go do it to it.